TikTok, Melania, your dark past is surfacing and there's nothing you can do to stop it. Not only that, but you were recently ditched when Donald Trump went on that trip to Beijing to meet Xi Jinping. He didn't bring you. Instead, Eric Trump was posting photographs of Donald Trump and another woman. That's right. He was posting photos of Donald Trump and Natalie Harp, who Donald Trump refers to as the human printer. Here's what Eric Trump posted. One of the hardest working people I know, and it's a photo of Donald Trump and Natalie Harp. It says Natalie Harp is a legend and she looks awfully close to him. Melania, also one of the individuals who says that she has information about your dark past, Amanda Ungaro. She continues to make posts on social media, including a post between her and her son. And of course, we know that Ungaro used to be the girlfriend of Paolo Zampoli. She has a child with Zampoli. Zampoli introduced you to Donald Trump in 1998 at the Kit Kat Club. Zampoli was going to buy modeling agencies with Jeffrey Epstein. He ran the modeling agency that brought you from Eastern Europe here to the United States, and he would use his model agency to introduce young European women and girls to wealthy Manhattan businessmen at the Kit Kat Club, Melania. So here's what Melania is saying why she didn't get the invite to China. Melania's office says, First Lady Melania Trump is not traveling at this time. Ooh, that was awfully terse. She also then found out that Brett Ratner, the individual who's also in the Epstein files, who directed the Melania movie, was going on the trip with Donald Trump. So Trump brought Brett Ratner and not you, Melania. And here's what Melania's office put out. Remember how Melania has that fixer? So here's what they put out. The First Lady did not have prior knowledge that Mr. Ratner would be in China. A person familiar with this trip told the Post, the First Lady only works with Mr. Ratner on the film. And she goes, don't worry though, the First Lady was never scheduled to go on this trip in the first place. Interesting. Also, I thought it was notable, and we saw the New York Times write about this. Where were the women on that Trump Xi Jinping trip? Nearly all the business leaders and Trump officials were men. There was like no women on that trip at all. And I know you're getting awfully jealous, Melania. I know you wanted to be on that trip, but perhaps you're a liability because your dark past is surfacing. I don't know. I'm just expressing my opinion as protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. Perhaps all of those posts by Amanda Ungaro talking about what she knows about you, what she knows about your past, what she knows about Donald Trump's past. You know, she would be with Zampoli all of the time with you and Donald, and Zampoli probably told her a thing or two. Again, I'm just expressing my opinion, but she's posting about it over and over again. So you're going to try to distract us, Melania, aren't you? That's one of your tactics. How are you going to distract us? Well, Melania Trump reposts something called USA Memorabilia. What is USA Memorabilia posting, Melania? Because this is what you reposted. Melania Trump is leading a historic effort to ensure Americans are seen, heard, and supported. But Melania, you were neither seen, heard, or supported on the trip to China. Then Melania Trump says, these efforts remain guided by a single goal, delivering lasting, meaningful change for young people with experience in foster care and families across America. Hey, Melania, that's nice and all, but guess what? The Trump regime is covering up a child sex trafficking ring, okay? The Trump regime is covering up the Epstein files. That's why, in my opinion, I say they're covering it up, because they're covering up the Epstein files. Others can have differing opinions. That's my opinion as protected by the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. And what is USA Memorabilia, huh? Why are you reposting that? Oh, USA Memorabilia. Oh, do you do collections with them where you sell things? Oh, yes, I think that's what's going down here. The USA Memorabilia is selling the American Star brass ornament. You're selling ornaments right now. Interesting. Christmas ornaments right now. The American Star for $90. You can also get this other Celebrating America's 250th ornament for $75. So I guess that's one of the ways you're distracting, Melania. How else are you distracting? Well, I think that you had a plan a few weeks back where you were You said that you were going to be adding a beehive to the White House. So you got rid of the Rose Garden with Donald Trump. It's now turned into Club Rose Garden. The East Wing, which is supposed to be the wing for the First Lady, that was destroyed by the Trump regime. And you put in this beehive. You made this big announcement, this White House replica beehive. You did a whole video on it. And now one of the things, this was the announcement from the office of the First Lady 2 or 3 weeks back. It says Melania Trump announced the expansion of the White House honey program with the addition of a newly installed and fully functioning beehive on the South Lawn, handcrafted by a local artisan in the image of the White House. The beautiful new hive will add these beehives that you're adding. Interesting, because yesterday, as Donald Trump was returning to Washington, D.C., one of the things that we noticed was there was a massive swarm of bees descending on the White House grounds. I mean, who would have thought that if you build all of these beehives, it would create all of these bees that would be flying all around? So now the White House is probably not only infested with asbestos, because the East Wing was full of asbestos and all these other toxic materials, and it doesn't appear any codes were actually followed in demolishing the East Wing. I've done a lot of exposés on my belief that there's a ton of asbestos all over there. So not only that, but now it's infested by asbestos and bees, like bee swarms are now there because of the beehive. I'll just show you, let's take a look at this massive swarm of bees. I'll play the B-roll right here. Edward Lawrence posted this photo. The dots here are a swarm of bees on the northern lawn of the White House. There are thousands of them right now. And Alexandria Huff posted, here's this huge swarm of bees that briefly took over the North Lawn driveway at the White House. Here, I'll show you this. Let's play this clip.
Oh my gosh. Like, yeah, there's a bee tornado happening here at the White House. Y'all. It goes on, I guess. Yeah, we have some photographers capturing it. I saw the same thing happen in Philly the other day. Are they just like, okay. Wow.
And then we saw the activity of these bees increasing last week, where Donald Trump had to swat away all of these bees. So is this your way of getting back at him, Melania? Here, watch this. Here, play this clip.
Pakistan has opened the land route with Iran. Did they consult you before opening it up to Iran? And are you aware of it?
That was a vicious bee. I know everything about it. Yeah, I have great respect. Are you from Pakistan?
No, I'm not from Pakistan.
I have great respect for Pakistan and for the Field Marshal and for the Prime Minister. Yeah, I know that.
But more significantly, I wonder if the reason, Melania, that you didn't take this trip to China is because of your immigration background. You know, if you take this trip to China, you're going to need a visa. You're going to need paperwork, right? So I believe that during the first campaign, lots of people had questions about, how did you really get here, Melania? Did Zampoli really bring you here before 1998? What were you really doing here? You said that you graduated from a college in Slovenia, but you didn't graduate from the college. You probably attended 1 year. When you were called out, you had to change that. So when you were applying for the so-called Einstein visa, did you even have to apply, by the way? Did you lie? I don't know. I don't know the answer. I truly don't. But did you say that you graduated? Because if you did, then can that be improper? I think there's another word for that as well. What were you doing to get the Einstein? Yeah, well, what? Seriously. Remember Donald Trump said in 2 weeks back in 2015, he was going to do a big press conference about Melania's immigration. 2 weeks. And he would do one about Melania's immigration background. Never did that. That's just Trump's strategy, 2 weeks. So I wonder if maybe he didn't want to go to China because there'd be questions asked about that. Here's what Donald Trump said back in the 2015 campaign. Here, play this clip.
Wait, they said my wife Melania might have come in illegally. Can you believe that one? No. They said headlines. Maybe she came in illegally, maybe. Let me tell you one thing. She has got it so documented, so she's going to have a little news conference over the next couple of weeks. That's good. That's good. I love it. I love it. They said, Melania Trump may have come into our country illegally, and how would that be for Donald Trump to be talking? Here's the only problem. She came in totally legally. I mean, so it's one of those things. All right, but you'll see it in a little while. I said to her, no, let it simmer for a little while. Let them go wild, let it simmer, and then let's have a little news conference and have some fun.
But of course, Melania, while you have all of these issues, projection and confession is the name of the game. And projection and confession is you had the audacity to go after Obama and question former President Obama's birth certificate. You were a birther. With all of the stuff in your shady background, you were a birther, in my opinion. Play this clip.
But what is this with the birth certificate obsession? Did he ask to see yours when you met him?
I needed to put mine anyway, because if you want to become an American citizen, you need to put the birth certificate.
Right.
I have a birth certificate from Slovenia. And do you want to see President Obama birth certificate or not?
I've seen it.
It's not the birth certificate.
Well, it's a certificate of live birth,
right,
which they get. But Melania, if he insists on what he's saying, then no one in Hawaii can ever run for president because they all get the same live birth certificate.
Well, but they need to have...
Midler is finished, for example.
They need to have, and in one way, it will be very easy if President Obama just show it, and because it's not only Donald who wants to see it; it's American people who voted for him and who didn't vote for him. They want to see that.
But it's on display in Chicago. We've seen it on the internet. We've seen it. It's not the same as yours, but it's a certificate of live birth.
Well, we feel it's different than, birth certificate.
All right. Well, I think you should give it up at this point.
Well, it's not him that it's bringing up. It's the media all the time.
And then you had the brazenness. No wonder you like AI so much. It probably is what I'm giving, again, my opinion. It's probably how you write everything right now, because I remember when you gave the speech the first time around at the Republican convention, didn't you just plagiarize Michelle Obama? Yeah, here, play this clip.
My parents were raised with so many of the same values.
That you work hard for what you want.
You work hard for what you want.
That your word is your bond.
That your word is your bond. That you do what you say you're going to do. That you treat people
with respect.
With dignity and respect, even if you don't know them, and even if you don't agree with them.
That is
and Barack and I set out to build lives guided by these values and to pass them on to the next generation, because we want our children and all children in this nation to know that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
And your willingness to work for them.
And then Melania, when Donald Trump said he grabs women by their genitals because he's rich and you get away with it when you're rich, you were there to say it was locker room talk, right, Melania? Just locker room talk. It's not locker room talk. It's sick. Play this clip.
He described it as locker room talk.
Mm-hmm.
To you, I mean, you sort of alluded to that as well. Is that what it is to you, just locker room talk?
Yeah, it's kind of two teenage boys. Actually, they should behave better, right?
He was 59.
Correct. And sometimes I said, I have two boys at home. I have my young son and I have my husband. So, but I know how some men talk, and that's how I saw it, yes.
So, Melania, you can do the bee swarms, try to distract with your memorabilia. But we know what's up. We could connect the dots. Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
The truth is more important than ever. Check out our new Truth Over Lies collection at store.MeidasTouch.com. All 100% USA union made.